Manhattan's one hell of a pilot. There it goes. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just sitting here reflecting over the end of our Knights of the Old Republic 2 playthrough and thinking about the hole that its absence has left in my heart. I feel almost like the exile. A huge part of my weekly routine has been stripped from my life, and while I will continue to make Knights of the Old Republic videos and guides, I won't be doing another Knights of the Old Republic playthrough anytime soon. Some of you might also be in that same boat. You've played Knights of the Old Republic several times, and while we still love the game, sometimes we need some space. We need to explore other games, to take a break before we come back and give Malik another thrashing. So today, we're going to talk about 6 games that you might be interested in if you loved Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now, before we get into this list, just to mention that these games are not listed in any particular order, and that they are all very different from Knights of the Old Republic. Most of them aren't even in the Star Wars universe, but they have similar themes or gameplay styles and are definitely worth your time. We're starting off on a strong note with entry number 1, and that is going to be the Mass Effect series. Yes, I know it's not necessarily a single particular game, but the 3 tie so closely together that it's hard to recommend one without the rest. Now, Mass Effect is another game released by BioWare, the same developer of Knights of the Old Republic 1, and Mass Effect is potentially their most successful set of games they've released. In the world of Mass Effect, the human race has had their technology advanced by several hundreds of years by uncovering alien technology on Mars, left behind by an ancient, extinct alien race known as the Protheans. Thanks to the developments of the Protheans, humans were able to develop interstellar travel utilizing devices called mass relays. Thanks to the mass relays, humans are able to travel to distant stars within the Milky Way, meet several other species of intelligent alien life, and begin to participate in the intergalactic community. When you play Mass Effect, you will play as Commander Shepard, a commander in the Systems Alliance Navy, and over the course of 3 action-packed games, you will try and stop an ancient race of sentient machines known as the Reapers from destroying all intelligent life in the Milky Way. I could tell you more about why the Reapers want to destroy all organic life, where they came from, and what Commander Shepard plans to do about that. But if you're already asking those questions, then just go ahead and try out the game. I promise you won't be disappointed. As you progress through Mass Effect, you will participate in third-person real-time action that utilizes a tactical pause and action bar, similar to Knights of the Old Republic, to allow you to use abilities and command your companions. Now, this game being a BioWare game, you will also have to make huge decisions that will affect your companions, the fate of the human race, and ultimately the fate of all organic life in the Milky Way. No big deal, right? Speaking of companions, throughout the Mass Effect games, you will recruit many unique companions that have deep backgrounds, interesting personalities, and will undergo dynamic growth as you progress through the trilogy. Wait, did I just say trilogy? Yes, I did. If I haven't sold you on Mass Effect yet, maybe this will. When I said you would be making huge decisions, maybe I didn't make clear the magnitude of the choices you will be making. After you complete a game, you will have the opportunity to import your save from the previous game, bringing along with it all of the choices you made and their consequences. This means that every side quest you complete, every person you piss off, and every companion you influence has the potential to appear in future games, significantly impacting the quests you do and the outcome of the final game. Mass Effect is available on PC, Xbox One, and the PS3, so check it out. Alright, for entry number 2, we have Divinity Original Sin 2. Now we're leaving the world of sci-fi for a bit and going into the realm of fantasy. If you enjoyed the tactical nature of KOTOR's combat, then Divinity Original Sin 2 might be a great game for you to try out. In Divinity, you can control either a pre-made character with unique powers and a backstory that heavily influences the game, or you can create your own character and make the story yours. The choice is up to you. As you progress through the game solo, or with up to 3 friends, you and your team of human friends or NPC companions will fight your way through a beautiful open world, completing quests and trying to become the Divine, or in Star Wars terms, the one that will bring balance to the Force. One thing that is unique about Divinity is the combat is both turn-based and strategic. It will feel very much like a game of Dungeons & Dragons, as you will have initiative, take turns in combat, use action points to cast spells or physical abilities to defeat your foes. With the different character classes and strategies different team synergies can bring to the table, along with the different ways backstories are used to influence the overall game, successive playthroughs are sure to be just as exciting as the first. The PC version of the game also features a Game Master mode, where you can create your own campaign and essentially play a game of D&D with Divinity-style combat. If you like tactical games or the robust role-playing options KOTOR presents, then you're sure to have a great time in Divinity. Just remember, only one player may become the divine. Moving on to entry 3, we have XCOM 2. Now, a newer XCOM game was just released, but I must confess that I haven't played it yet, so we will be discussing its predecessor, XCOM 2, in this video. Now, XCOM is another tactical turn-based game, which will encourage you to think critically about situations and will swiftly punish any rash decisions you may make. Every movement your troops make must be made with the utmost care, or you're very likely to leave some men behind on the battlefield. As you progress through the game, your characters will level up, developing skills, getting nicknames, and getting more advanced equipment. As you play, you're sure to bond with these characters, so just remember, if a character dies in combat, they're gone forever. This level of risk involved when playing ensures that you will think critically and use your best strategy to repel the alien invaders. While it is inevitable that one of your favorite characters will die in battle, there will always be others to rise through the ranks, so even though one battle may seem bleak, just know that your entire XCOM force will support you to win the war. Also in XCOM 2, all of the missions, barring a few key story missions, are randomly generated, so no two XCOM playthroughs will ever be exactly the same. Combine random missions with the different squads you will recruit each game, and you will find that replayability is not an issue with this game. Oh, and did I also mention that there are mods to include Star Wars characters and classes in this game? Go check it out. Alright, now for entry number 4, we are going to discuss a game that is vastly different than any of the others I mentioned, and that game is called Life is Strange. Now, I cannot stress enough just how good and how powerful this story is. If you fell in love with the characters of Knights of the Old Republic and you enjoyed playing through such a well-crafted story, then Life is Strange might be for you. During the game, you will play as 18-year-old Max Caulfield, a photography student who learns she has the ability to bend time. As you progress through the game and face the trials and tribulations many young teens today face, you will have to use your powers to prevent dangerous events and come to the aid of your friends. Life is Strange will take you on an emotional journey with great characters and a dynamic story that will differ vastly from each individual playthrough. The choices you make in this narrative story are huge, no matter how small they may seem, and the culmination of your choices can have a significant impact on how the story progresses and even the life or death of your friends. Combine the great story, the high-stakes choices, and a remarkable soundtrack, and Life is Strange is a game that you will have a hard time putting down. Now, I will note that this game does involve a lot of subjects that can be troubling and hard to experience, such as social division, bullying, parental conflict, drugs, and suicide. So if you do embark on this emotional story, please do not continue if you feel affected by the story or any of its themes. For our penultimate entry, we have Detroit Become Human. This narrative story by Quantic Dream, the developers of Heavy Rain, is based in futuristic Detroit, where humans have developed androids to accomplish typical everyday tasks from babysitters to security guards. However, some androids begin to become self-aware, questioning why they are subservient to humans and why they shouldn't be considered equal. This game will have you play as multiple android characters with unique backstories and overarching goals for the game. However, they soon will become intertwined as you proceed. And throughout the game, you will solve crimes, care for loved characters, and fight for the civil rights for all androids. The characters of this game are extremely dynamic, and their story and fate will be crafted by you. What is Kara willing to do to protect Alice? Is stopping the deviants, no matter the cost, Connor's true destiny? And how will Marcus shape the future of the androids? These are just a few decisions you will have to make, and this gripping story will make you feel like you're binging a whole new series on Netflix. It is important to note that at any time in the game, one of these three main characters can die. There will be no game over, and the story will proceed. Detroit will take you on an intense ride, causing you to constantly question different themes, craft the attitudes of the main characters, and ultimately shape how the story concludes and the future of all androids. With several ways to resolve conflicts and numerous endings to the game, Detroit is replayable without a doubt. The choices you'll make, the fate of the humans, and the fate of the entire android race awaits you in Detroit. So for our final entry, I would be remiss if I didn't include a Star Wars game in this list, so we're going to have a throwback and talk about Star Wars Empire at War. This game, as well as its expansion, Forces of Corruption, are available on PC. Empire at War is very similar to Age of Empires. It is a Star Wars real-time strategy game where you can control either the Rebels, Imperials, or the Zon Consortium in Forces of Corruption. There are complete campaigns for each faction you can complete, telling a different story of how the Galactic Civil War might have proceeded, as well as skirmish battles to hop right into the action, either in space or on land. These modes, as well as a free play galactic conquest where you begin with certain planets under your control, build units, upgrade tech, and spread your faction's power until you control the entire galaxy, offer endless replayability. And with the varying levels of difficulty, it will make it easy to learn, but hard to master. So there you have it. If you need a break from Knights of the Old Republic, these are 7 great games that have similar mechanics or styles that you might consider trying. Have you played any of these games before? Do you have any other games that you feel should be on this list? Let everyone know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to drop a like. And if you feel so inclined, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notifications on any new videos or live streams. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks.